My name's Dean. Welcome to my channel, Reeperbahn TV, where we talk about the then and now of Hamburg's red light and entertainment district. In this video, we are bouncing down to the bottom of the Spielbudenplatz 26 to witness the latest development to hit the Reeperbahn. I hope you enjoy the video, which offers a complete location history, a brief discussion about recent developments, including a couple of musical montages with an impressive 3-day time-lapse, and concludes with footage of the recent opening. However, be sure to stick around until the end of the video for more information about my Reeperbahn Tour book.
It's happening. It's actually happening. After standing more than 2 decades as a wasteland, the Spielbudenplatz 26 is now a hive of activity. However, to understand the sudden franticness, we first need to see how we got to this point.
In its earliest incarnations, the Spielbudenplatz 26 had a lot to boast about. After the building was used in the 1880s and 1890s as a singing school called Casino, a singing hall called the New World, and a variety venue called In Seventh Heaven, the venue paved the way for a certain St. Pauli-born singer-songwriter, Hein Kurlisch, to make his stage debut. The upshot of this, apart from giving him a contract worth more than 10 times what a harbour worker would make for a 12-hour shift, was that Kurlisch would enjoy such a successful career that he would be immortalised by having a St. Pauli square named after him. Thus, without the Spielbudenplatz 26, there is perhaps no Hein Kurlisch and no Hein Kurlisch Platz. After this variety venue was briefly reincarnated as the Apollo, in 1900 owner August Piefo opened the Hamburg America Bar, decorated in gold-coloured wall panelling and wildly ornate chandeliers, with bartenders and barmaids called mixers dressed all in white. The location could not only claim at the time to be the largest bar in Germany, but can forever boast that it brought the hitherto unknown art of cocktail making to the country. Unfortunately, this was about as good as it got for the Spielbudenplatz 26. After the Hamburg America Bar closed at the start of World War I, the building became a cinema and then a frozen meat outlet, though around this time an extra floor was also added. After 1934, the plot was converted into a swimming pool. However, after a more modern swimming pool was built in another part of St. Pauli, in 1980 the city decided to close the pool on the Spielbudenplatz and to sell the plot to a private investor. It was at this point, after a planning application to open an amusement arcade was rejected by the council, that the owner took the decision to leave the coveted address empty. As the last remaining example of the early Spielbudenplatz, the facade was given protected status in 1998. Despite this, the interior of the building was removed in 2004 to allow building work to be carried out on the neighbouring Schmidt's Tivoli Theatre. Only the facade, propped up by steel beams, was left intact. The plot then remained a wasteland.
With no interior building, an owner prepared to leave the plot empty and a listed facade, when I took this photo several years ago as part of this book project, I couldn't ever imagine witnessing new life being breathed into this location. However, I can now report that there has been a significant development, with unwelcome visitors causing mischief on the site and the owners of the Schmidt buildings interested in using the facade of the Spielbudenplatz 26 as an area for advertising. The owners of the relevant plots came into contact with each other. After some discussions, the idea of opening a Viennese-style Heuriger wine garden was soon born. Before long, the plot owner, along with the owners of the neighbouring Schmidt buildings, including Tessa Aust, Hannes Vater and Corny Lippmann, had signed a lease agreement with the owner. The idea, according to Hannes Vater, is to provide a retreat from the otherwise vibrant Reeperbahn, whilst also offering, according to Corny Lippmann, a cosy place for all those who want to enjoy a few relaxing hours in pleasant surroundings with a good drop of wine and small dishes. How might one then go about building such a wine garden? Well, just to let people know there will be no half measures, you might contract a couple of artists to paint an enormous 50 square metre mural. Having demonstrated that you're not messing about, you might then want to deck out the place in mulch, clad the walls with wood panelling, and install a wooden frame for grapevines to hang from. I think you get the idea. Let's take a look.
Auf euch, auf den Weingarten. Schön, dass ihr da seid. Wenn es euch gefällt, erzählt überall, dass es jetzt den Weingarten 26 gibt. Und habt einen schönen Abend und fühlt euch wohl. Prost.
There are naturally some future considerations concerning this development, including the viability of such a venue in terms of demand and in terms of the weather. However, having spoken to the owners of the Schmidt buildings, I also know that they have great plans, including a family-friendly Christmas market with an activity area for kids. So let me know what you think of this latest Reeperbahn development in the comments. Finally, for those interested in learning more about the Reeperbahn, then I recommend my book Reeperbahn Tour, a location history of an entertainment district. Imagine the scenario: you wake up in St. Pauli still in a state of fermentation from the previous evening, having had breakfast which consisted of a cup of coffee, a paracetamol sandwich and a good cough. With a few hours to spare, you decide to take a stroll before you can reasonably expect to repeat the excesses of the night before. However, with no clear source of orientation, you don't know where to go or what to look at, let alone where to start. This is where the Reeperbahn Tour book comes in. As a one-stop source of information, this guidebook offers various themed tours, though you could actually start at any page in the book. The tours include things such as the history of street names as well as film and music locations, including of course every location the Beatles played at. Each tour takes you around a series of locations which share a common theme. A double page is then dedicated to each location, the address of which acts as the title at the top of the page and can be quickly found with a smartphone, though almost all of the locations are in the immediate vicinity. On the left-hand page of this spread, the text puts the location into its historic context and present-day context. On the right-hand page, one historic and one recent photo contrasts how that particular location has changed over time. The most important locations enjoy multiple texts which also have multiple photos. Best of all though, with more than 175 pictures, including almost all of St. Pauli's most important historical images, which have all been colorized, this stunning large format book also serves as the perfect memento once your visit is over. For more information, visit reeperbahnTV.com. Thanks for watching. Until next time.